Virgo, this July is an excellent month for you to take a look at what's going on beneath the surface in your love life, in your attachments, in your values, and maybe even your finances. A lot of this is in part due to Venus going retrograde on the 17th, and it'll actually be retrograde until September 3rd, so into your season. And these next couple of months are really going to be a moment or time where you are thinking a lot about your values and how you kind of formed these patterns in your relationships, as well as the ways that you derive stability. There is also quite a bit of focus on your friendships this month, particularly in the first part of July while we are in Cancer season. You could be really thinking about where you belong or what your role in your community or in your social circle really is. And so it seems like there's this sense of you're getting in touch with parts of yourself that may have been hidden, and that has very interesting implications on your relationships.
Before we dive into this month's reading, I just want to thank all of you who support this channel and also reached out last month in support of my cat, Benny. He's actually doing a lot better, I'm very happy to say. So thank you so much for your prayers, words of encouragement, and your donations. I really, really appreciate all of it. My heart was just so touched during a really challenging time, so thank you so much. For those of you who are brand new to this channel, my name is Michael, and I utilize tarot and tropical astrology to intuit monthly forecasts for your zodiac sign. If you want to make sure that you're always up to date, definitely be sure to hit like, subscribe, and the bell notification so you never miss out on what's in the cards for you. I do also just want to give my friendly reminder that I will never DM you or reach out to you in the comments to solicit my services. Anyone who does that is just an imposter, they're a fake, they're trying to scam you, so please report and ignore them. And if you do want to book a reading for me, you can find all of my links in the description of this video, including links for personal readings, distance Reiki sessions, and my social media accounts.
So before we get into the tarot cards, I did actually pull some animal cards for you, and the first one that I got was the Cosmic Egg. And this was actually really, really beautiful and frankly makes so much sense to me because the Cosmic Egg actually represents the crown chakra. And so it feels like there's a lot of activation for you spiritually. You're in a very meditative or introspective energy, or going into meditative states can be very profound for you during this time. It feels like you have this very beautiful thing that you are connecting to this month, Virgo. And the interesting thing is I also pulled the Starfish card as well. And sometimes when this card comes up, it indicates shallow energy. You know, something that is superficial, something that's pretty on the surface, but doesn't have a lot of substance or depth to it. And what this really feels like to me, Virgo, is that you are in this state right now where you're having a lot of profound realizations, or it's almost like you're operating on a higher level than the people around you. And it might even leave you feeling misunderstood or disconnected from friends or people you once considered yourself close to, or that you still consider yourself close to, but you're just not vibing. You're just not having this soulful connection. And so that's something to be mindful of. There is also the potential that there's kind of this divine creation or this kind of inspiration that you're getting this month. For some reason, I'm just getting this with Starfish and the Cosmic Egg. It feels like there's some sort of creative expression that could be trying to be born or birthed through you. This actually makes sense because we start off July with a full moon in Capricorn, which for you represents creativity, passion, and maybe even a bit of romance reaching a climax point. So starting off with some really, really exciting energies this month. But I'm really excited to see this Cosmic Egg because I feel like a lot of you are connecting to your spirituality on a very deep level, but you might also be feeling like other people aren't really getting that this month either. Something I'm also hearing, I'm going to kind of shuffle the cards while I keep channeling these messages. I'm getting, some of you have been connecting either to a spiritual teacher or figure, or just doing something online with spirituality, or kind of following spiritual content creators. And it actually feels like somehow what they're talking about just feels more shallow to you. That's something I could be seeing as well, like your own ideals or values could be shifting. Your own perspectives on spirituality could be shifting. What do we have for Virgo? What do we have for Virgo? for the month of July. Okay, so we do have the Wheel of Fortune coming up in the reverse for the past influence, and it feels like life has just been very chaotic for you, Virgo. I do get the sense that some of you have wanted to change your life circumstances or change your situations. Honestly, a lot of you just feel kind of down on your luck, if I could be so honest. It feels like things have just been very chaotic, because the Wheel of Fortune represents change and how that's kind of this inevitable force. And it feels like there's just been change that has been very disruptive for you, or it's been very hard to adapt to changes. And this is further clarified with the Eight of Cups in reverse. It feels like there's a situation that you want to move out of, or an energy that you want to move out of, Virgo, but it's just been very hard. It's almost like a sand trap or like sand pit, where it's like the more you're struggling in this energy right now, Virgo, the more stuck you become. So I don't want you to panic. I don't want you to feel like you're completely lost or losing at life or failing. But I do get the sense of overwhelm, and it's like you want to get out of a situation, but it's like the more that you panic, the more stuck you become. That's just what I'm kind of getting from these cards intuitively. And it feels like there's a chapter that was supposed to end that hasn't quite ended yet. And I'm getting that with the Ten of Swords in reverse as well. We do have a lot of reversals, and this isn't super surprising because we do have a retrograde this month. Venus is going retrograde in your 12th house. And I just want to say this to you, Virgo. If it feels like things aren't manifesting or happening in your external reality, there could be some shifts that you need to make internally. You might need to really sort through your subconscious beliefs or your, self-worth as well. That could also be something that's very, very important this month. Because it feels like there's something that you've wanted to end, a cycle you've wanted to break, but for some reason it feels like you're still in this cycle. And yet with the cosmic egg, you have this beautiful epiphany. It feels like you've tried to be pleasing to other people. You've tried to make other people happy, Virgo. And maybe you've given up on your own dreams, or you put those aside. What is happening with Virgo? What else is happening with Virgo? Please. Whoops, so sorry about that. What is happening for Virgo? Interesting. So this Ten of Swords did fall, and I just kind of put it back on the table, and it's now upright. So there is something that you are ending, but it's an ending that has been a long thing coming, Virgo. There's a shift that is happening, and when you have this perspective shift, Virgo, that is when the ending finally happens. That is when you get out of this challenging energy, okay? And I feel like this reading is going to be a bit more abstract just because of the nature of this energy for you this month. It feels very internal. It feels like you're taking stock of things. There are some important shifts that are happening this month as well, especially with the nodes. The North Node is entering into Aries the same day as the new moon in Cancer, actually, on the 17th. And with the nodes shifting, the North Node in Aries, the South Node in Libra, the focus for you is shifting in a way where it's like you really want to get beneath the surface. You really want to get to the truth. You really want to explore the dark or mysterious. And you could be really invested in psychology right now. You could be really invested in self-help right now. And like, I feel like there is this genuine desire for you to improve yourself, Virgo, and other people might not get that. And with the Knight of Cups and the Hierophant, this is actually an interesting combination of cards. I'm getting a couple of different interpretations of this. They probably won't resonate for all of you. But I feel like first and foremost, the challenge for you this month is really finding this flow with the Knight of Cups, because the Knight of Cups is all about listening to your heart, listening to your intuition. And almost saying things even if other people don't get it, or even if it feels foolish to, or vulnerable. Because I feel like people are just not on your level, but it's like you still have to open up, Virgo, because when you're opening your heart in this way, that's when you attract the people who are right for you with the Knight of Cups. And the Hierophant is very beautiful and very spiritual as well. This can quite literally represent wisdom, especially through traditions or different practices or belief systems. This combination does also make me wonder if you are thinking a lot about marriage or traditional relationships or your traditional notions of romance. And this really makes a lot of sense to me with Venus going retrograde this month. A lot of people are really going to be thinking about relationships in a different way. And actually for the next 18 months, with the North Node in Aries and the South Node in Libra, which collectively just represents relationships and partnerships, we're moving away from the South Node of old ways of relating and maybe even forms of codependency or sacrificing parts of ourselves for relationships. And there's now this shift where it's very focused on what is aligned for you as an individual. That's with the North Node entering into Aries. And so I feel like with this spiritual alignment, Virgo, a lot of you are really connecting. You're wanting to connect soul to soul with people. You want to have spiritual connections. And I feel like you're not settling for anything less anymore. And some of you could also be looking at old patterns in relationships that you may have learned from your upbringing, from your childhood, or even just from social media or society at large. You know, whatever conditioning you received in relationships that is no longer useful to you, Virgo, is something that I think you're going to be thinking quite a bit about and really looking at this through the lens of your subconscious, because that's how that's manifesting for you specifically, Virgo. And again, with the North Node in your 8th house, there's a lot of focus on psychology and really looking at things beneath the surface, really getting to topics that might even be taboo or conversations that other people don't want to have. But those are the things that are really going to bring you closer to the people who are right for you. So I'm actually curious as to what's going on for you in relationships specifically. I'll also pull for finances and then kind of wrap up with any other messages from Spirit. So what are the messages for Virgo regarding relationships? Whoa, that was a lot. Sorry, I just had a bunch of cards fall over here. What are the messages for Virgo for relationships? Show us clearly, please. What are the messages for Virgo for relationships? Okay, so we have Temperance coming out here. This is a very beautiful, beautiful card for relationships because it indicates harmony. You are finding harmony, but there might have been some holding back. I feel like you're getting to the root of things with this Four of Pentacles. Things you have held on to, beliefs you have held on to. You are healing relationship wounds or attachment wounds. And it feels like it's bringing a lot of exciting energy. And I mean, there's definitely fireworks here. I feel like there's fireworks, I feel like there's chemistry, but it feels very balanced. Some of you could be connecting with a Sagittarius energy in particular, with the Temperance and the Eight of Wands. And the beautiful thing about Temperance, the beautiful thing about this card is that we often speak of it as balance, because there's the combination of fire and water. That's how we temper metal. We burn away these impurities. But to temper steel is literally bringing out the best qualities of something. So in finding the best qualities of yourself and purifying yourself, you become a match to relationships that feel authentic and connected. It's not about you giving up a part of yourself. It's like bringing out your very best, and someone who is bringing forth their very best with you. I feel like there's a relationship for some of you where it's like you bring out the best in each other, and there's almost like this compliment. Anything else for relationships? Anything else for relationships? Show us clearly, please. We have the Page of Swords. So again, a lot of communication. And I did also get the King of Cups at the bottom of the deck as well. And this just makes me feel like, honestly, for some reason, I'm just getting like therapy energy. Again, like I feel like a lot of you are talking to a therapist, or you're, maybe listening to some person online who talks about relationships, but there's something where it's like, I feel like you're connecting to a therapist or a coach in some way, and that's very healing for you. And it's like, I feel like you're trying new ways of communication this month, and that's really, really important. And I feel like some of you are connecting with new people. And if you don't have people that you can connect with, Virgo, it feels like it's really important for you to then seek out almost like role models or people that you look up to. That's something that I'm getting. Connecting with people who inspire you. I think that's really, really important. Or people who offer you something that makes you feel like you are growing or healing. Anything else for Virgo with relationships? Anything else about relationships for Virgo? Judgment. So yeah, there's some big conversations that are going to be happening this month. And honestly, I think by the end of the month, with Mercury and Mars in your sign together, Mars will be entering your sign, I believe, around the 10th, and then Mercury enters your sign, which is your ruling planet, at the end of this month. And so there's a lot of energy, there's a lot of communication. I feel like you are having conversations that you've needed to have for a while, Virgo. That's how I'm looking at this Judgment card. It's possible this could also represent talking to people from the past or releasing things from the past, especially with Mercury retrograde. I don't necessarily get the sense that this is about a reconciliation either, because it feels more like there's healing that is happening. There's like things that you might have been holding on to that you are releasing. But it feels like there is this revival, there's this renewal, there's a resurrection for you, Virgo. You are finally rising from the ashes in some way. Very, very interesting. What is going on for Virgos with finance, or maybe with career? What is going on financially for Virgo? Interesting. We have the Nine of Pentacles and the Seven of Cups. This is a very interesting combination. The Nine of Pentacles is actually really great to see because this signifies abundance. This signifies stability. And the Seven of Cups is really, really interesting to me because it can represent that things aren't always what they appear to be. Or it can represent brainstorming or weighing out different options, dreaming up different possibilities for yourself. Why is the Seven of Cups with the Nine of Pentacles? Show me clearly. That's a bit too many. Why is the Seven of Cups showing up with the Nine of Pentacles? King of Wands. But this King of Wands is in reverse. It's interesting, Virgo, because I feel like on the surface, things could actually be going quite well for you this month financially. Or there's some sort of stability, but I feel like there's a lot of discontent with the Seven of Cups and actually the King of Wands in reverse. Interesting that this is also Leo energy. I feel like a lot of you are looking at your spending habits or what it is that you invest in, or even just your attitudes about money at large. That is also very appropriate for this month and very useful to do this month. And I mean, that's actually going to continue to be true through August as well. So this really could be, over the next couple of months, all of this kind of rethinking love, rethinking money, all things Venus, basically. And Venus really just represents what we value, what we feel attached to. Anything else regarding finances? Queen of Pentacles. I feel like you are in a state where it's like you've gotten to one level, Virgo, and now you are thinking about, how do I get to the next stage? How do I get to the next level? And that might be involving things like investments. That might be involving things like learning more about finance. That's actually very interesting with the energy that we have with the nodes, bringing those up again, because the South Node is in your house of your own income, your own money, and kind of changing attitudes there, where the 8th house can represent things like investment, joint finances. What do you want to invest to? What do you want to build? Some of you are also really wanting to build your own business or nurture something here, nurture a project. With the Queen of Pentacles, maybe there's even something creative here, thinking about this Capricorn energy being very ignited for you this month. The Magician. Yeah, you're manifesting something new. I feel like a lot of you are manifesting a new job. Or you're getting back into manifestation. I feel like some of you have been sort of on autopilot. And you're really connecting with what it is you want, and maybe even doing manifestation practices for yourself, Virgo. And I just want to say that the new moon in Cancer on the 17th is a very, very fortunate and lucky one for you. It's in your 11th house of universal support. That also includes things like helpful contacts and networking and even your friends. But ultimately, the 11th house, Cancer energy for you, really does represent the ways that the universe brings you support, which often does come through other people. But with the Magician, there's a very, very powerful window for you to manifest. Okay, Virgo? And I do feel like you're really getting in touch with spirituality this month. And I'm even hearing like it almost... you're realizing how powerful you are, and it almost scares you. Or it's shocking, it's surprising to you how quickly you are manifesting certain things. And I think from this place, you're looking to do something new. Any other messages from Spirit? I think I'm going to pull maybe a couple of oracle cards here. But any messages from Spirit from the tarot? Any messages? We have the Lovers. You know, this is interesting because obviously this has the connotation of relationships, for sure. But it's also about making choices that are aligned with yourself and committing to yourself, too. Particularly with this Lovers being kind of this mirror image and Venus being retrograde, I feel like this actually is kind of talking about self-love. I did originally see this in the reverse position, but when I actually picked it up, it was upright. So that inverse position or reverse position feels like it is about self-love here. But I feel like there is a beautiful relationship. There's a beautiful partnership that's coming in for you, whether that is romantic or just a really solid one-on-one connection or close connection. I feel like there's someone who sees you. Even though it feels like there's a lot of people who don't really get you, Virgo, there is someone who sees you in a very deep way. And it's almost like you see each other in the other person. Tell me more. Any other messages from Spirit? We have the Sun. Wow. Beautiful, beautiful energy. And honestly, this reminds me of the cosmic egg. I feel like there's just overall this perspective shift for you, Virgo. There's a lot of beautiful things that are actually happening this month. Even though the energy honestly feels like it's been a bit challenging for you, I feel like there's something really beautiful shifting, and it's almost like it's the perspective that shifts first. And it's like loving what is, finding gratitude for what is, and that is making you magnetic. That is making you magnetic. And that's actually a word that I think you are supposed to be working with this month as well, Virgo. You are magnetic. Let's pull some oracle cards for you. Let's see what other messages we have. Ooh, we are very short on time, so I'm going to kind of make this quick. Any other messages for Virgo? The new moon. A new start is coming. Yeah, I really do feel like there is a new chapter that you are on the precipice of, Virgo, and as we are coming into your season, I think it's going to become more and more clear. It feels like July and August is kind of like the amniosis, the contractions before something new is born, but I really feel like there's just this exciting new energy, and it's almost like new lease on life, seeing things through the beginner's mind, and it's like falling in love with life again. And I love, love, love to see that. Anyways, Virgo, those are all the messages I have for you today. I went way over time. I hope this wasn't too long. Definitely let me know in the comments down below how this resonated for you, what this new lease on life is all about. I love to hear it. I do have all of my links in the description box for personal readings and distance Reiki sessions if you'd like to work together. And I will see you all in the next video. Take care, Virgo. Have a happy and blessed July.